Hello and welcome back to another episode of Is This a Witch Hunt? Is this just a teardown of another internet influencer? Or is said influencer doing something problematic? And the criticism is oh so valid. And today's person of conversation, today's topic is Nika Diwa, the family vlogger very well known on TikTok. Over the years, Nika has been involved in many controversies. From the inappropriate content creation surrounding her child, using her child for views. Oh, that fail-safe parents love to do on the internet. I'm gonna profit off a child that can't actually fully consent to what's going on. Yay! Oh dear. Controversy 2, milking her interracial relationship. Instead of having genuine conversations about being in an interracial relationship and how they face prejudice in society, Nika is being accused of milking it for views. And controversy 3, people are saying she's disingenuous with her content surrounding overstimulation. People are saying she glorifies it, she makes it a cinematic experience rather than something educational. So let's dive into this hot pot of conversation, shall we? But before we get into that, let me introduce myself. If you're new here, my name is Cal, and on this channel we do videos talking about things on the internet, and then we all discuss it as a community down in the comment section below. Okay, let's go. Talking point 1, farming your child for content. Nika literally has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos where the main subject of her video is her children. I genuinely feel wholeheartedly there's no ethical way to produce content where your child is the main subject of your content. That is not ethical content production. Your subject of your videos cannot fully comprehend the situation, and therefore they cannot consent. One of the biggest controversies surrounding this was when Nika uploaded a video changing her child's diaper and was giving the child an educational lesson on boundaries and their private parts. And while pretty much everybody is in agreement, these conversations are so important to have. Conversations of genitals and what they are. These are very much needed conversations to have. Education on your body and how it works is always a good thing. You know, I remember when I was a very, very young person, my mum literally telling me, I have a penis. It's not a hose pipe. It's not a wee-wee. It's not a doo-dang. It's not that dangly thing. I know that all sounds very silly to say out loud when we're all, you know, grown-ups watching this or older watching this. But this is a genuinely serious conversation, as giving things the anatomically correct name can prevent abuse from predators. Anatomically correct terms may help prevent abuse by deterring a potential abuser. Information gathered from interviews with offenders suggests that children who are body savvy and educated about privacy and consent were harder to groom and perceived as more likely to tell about inappropriate touch. And if abuse does happen and a child must be interviewed during an investigation, the ability to be specific and accurate about what parts of their body were involved can help investigators identify abuse, hold offenders accountable, and ensure that child victims get the care they need to be safe and heal. Yeah, there's so much validity and importance about having these conversations with your children. However, the big issue a lot of people have mentioned with this video is having this conversation about boundaries with your daughter, all whilst completely violating your child's boundaries, is wild and out of touch. And sadly, this is the sort of thing you can completely expect with family vloggers. Anything and everything for content. It's so counterintuitive. How can you have these conversations with your child whilst putting them in these situations? This could have been a great moment where you sat down face to face with the camera, didn't have to show your child, but you spoke about the importance of education. But no, that wouldn't get the likes, clicks, and engagements that this video did. It all just seems very, very performative, where the topic is actually something very important, but the content itself seems very disingenuine. For example, this video talking about boundaries, asking if she would sit on Santa's lap, and the child is like, no, it's a boundary.
No, that's a boundary.
And then Nika rewards the child with some candy. Ah, yes. That's such a fair transaction. While your mum gets to profit off of you with actual financial gains, you get candy. Maybe if there's enough money left at the end of all of this, you'll get a nice college fund, but no promises. Yeah, there's so much validity to the critiques here. Again, it just goes back to my original point. You can't ethically produce family vlogger content where your child is the main subject of the video. It's just super weird and just seems disingenuine. It seems like you're setting up a camera in lots of moments and trying to create authentic conversations, but it seems forced. You're turning your child into an actor. Say the lines for the camera so people know that I'm a good parent, teaching you the right things. Yes, I'll give you candy. It's transactional, it's inauthentic. The critiques here are very valid that people are saying. Another example of this boundary content and the child clearly being an actor for her mother's content is this one where this other child tries to kiss her daughter and she responds like this.
Boundary! It's a boundary! It's a boundary!
And immediately the child's response just seems so inauthentic. It seems like she's saying something because in the past she's experienced positive validation from her mother to behave like this. Rather than understanding why, it's important to keep our hands, feet, and whatever to ourselves, it's this performative ha-ha hee-hee moment to film your child and then whack it on the internet. This is truly like the Truman Show. Every important conversation, every life lesson you have with your parents, it's just being blasted on the internet. It's no longer a genuine moment. It's disingenuous. You're an actor. You're an actor in your parents' lives for their profit. Ew. Here's another example of making the children the actors in your content. I don't care if it's a kid's party. I'm not taking my eyes off her because I know the statistics. Boom! A great moment of parenting, yes. Always keep your eyes on your child. You're their guardian. You're there to look after them. Totally agree. But here's another video from Nika. Hack for flying with babies. Make strangers hold them so you don't have to. You're literally playing pass the parcel with your child. This is mental. One video you're saying you got to be careful about strangers because you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know their intentions. The next moment you're just literally giving your child to random strangers. Yeah, the critique here is valid, team. Our content with the children is straight up unethical. It's weird. It's problematic. It's not a genuine educational tool for parents. It's look, here's my child, I'm gonna profit off of their moment. It's sad. Next up, we have the content surrounding Nika's interracial relationship. People are critiquing Nika, saying that she's made marrying a black man part of her brand. She has many TikToks where the caption will be, my Nigerian husband, my Nigerian husband. And yeah, it does seem rather tiresome and performative rather than actually anything educational. I think this is the most random one though. My Nigerian husband who never cries is weeping watching The Sound of Music. Probably could have just kept that one to my husband, as there's a genuine legacy issue in the world of, men bottling up their emotions and not expressing them. I think generationally we're getting more and more better at it. More people are learning to open up, especially like the younger crowds coming through and going through adulthood now. But yeah, people in their 40s, 50s and onwards have really bottled up a lot of their emotions. They're very stoic and they won't show their emotions. But this, come on, it just feels like you're just trying to get buzzwords because they get traction on the internet. It really is always going to be for likes, clicks and engagement. If you're not profiting off your child and completely overstepping your boundaries with them, not respecting them whatsoever, it's did I mention I've got a Nigerian husband? And the third big one I see lots of people poking at Nika for is her overstimulated content. If you just scroll through Nika's profile, you'll be greeted by dozens and dozens of videos of her showing her being overstimulated. And like one of the big ones I see people have a lot of contention over is when she films herself being overstimulated, being like, I caught this moment on camera. I think obviously we would all agree that the destigmatization of, mental health, topics such as being overstimulated is a really positive thing for society. No longer a taboo. Or should I say it's becoming less of a taboo. People are becoming more open to the ideas of having conversations around these things. However, what I am seeing in forums from people who have watched a lot of Nika's content is they are alluding to the fact that she may be clip farming. Because conversations around mental health do well online. Everybody likes to be seen caring about mental health. Some critics are saying that she is using this to her advantage for her content. And this really does fall into the category that I've seen become so prevalent and prominent online in the last few years of things like being overstimulated and being neurodivergent have become commercialized. They've been something people can profit off of. Like I see it in so many mainstream content creators on YouTube where they just throw around the word autism as a joke. Like someone in a group video will be doing something random and one of the people in the video will be like, oh, that's the tism going again. Using things like autism and overstimulated in this way, it just always sits weirdly with me. Instead of, maybe a good useful video about how people in your support network can help you if you're overstimulated, what they can do to help, what needs to be done. It's I'm gonna film myself being overstimulated. Maybe you could argue it helps normalize it, but if it's a lot of your videos just being like, I'm overstimulated, to me, it just feels disingenuous engagement on the subject matter. One giant I'm overstimulated compilation, and I don't know how that is productive to conversation. And that's a shame because I think Nika clearly has a huge platform, and I think some of the content is useful in removing taboos and normalizing things. Couples coming together and truly helping each other out in childbirth and such like that, yes. But farming overstimulated videos because they do well, I don't know how to articulate it, but it just makes me go, eee. So what do I think in conclusion? And are the critiques valid? Yes. I think family vloggers just are inherently bad. I don't think they can be ethical. I don't think they can be good, broadly speaking. And also, side note, if you're a parent that's just put your child online, you're just a regular normal person, you're not trying to be an influencer, probably pretty much fine if you got a private account, because it's not like you're profiteering off your child. You're just, I don't know, sharing a picture of your child to your close family and friends. It's fine. That's cool or whatever. But this exploitation of children for your own capital gain can and never will be ethical. And you see it. Children that have grown up being, stars, if not in their parents' content, on TV, how they struggle with adapting to adult life after being an actor for their whole childhood. Now who are they meant to be when they're all grown up? When there's no cameras. No one cares anymore because you're an adult. It's not good. Now that's what I've got to say about that, and now I'm excited to pass this conversation over to you. Yes, let me know your thoughts. And team, to decompress from that absolutely wild conversation about family channels, let me show you a card from my collection. Boom, we got another Absol. I got so many comments in my last video of people saying they love Absol, so I was like, well, I can show you another Absol EX. I also got this from the Pokemania convention from the same person that sold me the other Absol. I was like, I love Absols, so they cut me a deal on the Absols. Say Absol more, Cow. Absol. Shout out you, person that sold me Absols. Anyways, I've been your boy Cow. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. I don't think this is a witch hunt. I think there's very valid criticisms people have made of Nika. And yep, that's what I've got to say about that. Okay, see you, bye.